Hello everyone and welcome to our training video. This video today is going to cover how to automatically distribute or assign customers or leads to users or reps, sales reps, using some of the automated features that our software has available. So first thing obviously is you're going to want to log in to your account and then go to the Data Distribution Profiles tab or screen here, this section. Now before we get into how to add these distribution profiles, it's important to understand that there's different ways that data can come into your CRM, into your account. Of course, if you have an online campaign or online offer that's collecting data, that's one way that it can come in. Another way is that people or other third-party companies can distribute or API data into your account. And one of the other main ways that that can happen is through import. You can import data, whether those be leads or customers. Data can be imported via our import features as well. So as data comes in, based on how it's coming in, a distribution profile that we set up here can then be applied to that incoming data. And so let's go through the steps here, and some of that explanation of how it comes in will make a little more sense as we get through the process. So let's go ahead and say we want to add a profile. Now in this case, we're going to want to assign leads or customers to users. Okay, so we're going to select the user management profile. Then from here, let's just give it a generic name for the purpose of this demo. And then we're going to decide whether we want to have this profile apply to leads or customers. In this case, we'll select leads. And then there's a checkbox here that says do not assign to offline or inactive users. What that means is if a representative or a user isn't logged in, then they're not going to get assigned any lead records. And then in the case where all of your users are not signed in, you can tell it to either use the percentages below, which we'll set up here in a second, or you can say do not assign to anyone, in which case those records will just be unassigned, and you can manually assign them once your users are signed back in. Okay, so let's say we're just going to use those percentages below for this example, and we've got a tab here and some drop-downs or a drop-down. So let's just say we want to have leads go to Cindy, and we also want to add Joe Blow, and we also want to add John. Okay, and let's say we want to give Cindy 30%, Joe 40%, and the rest would be 30%. Okay, now there's this unassigned option down here. Let's just say instead that we only wanted John to have 20%. That leaves 10 unassigned, which could then be manually assigned or assigned out through other automated processes later on if you so choose to have that happen. But for this example, we're going to say we want to assign every lead that comes in to a user. You also have this other tab here that's got a little check or a plus sign on it. And this allows you to kind of assign leads, or not kind of, but to assign leads based on other settings. For example, if there is a particular, let's say, state that leads are coming in from, and you want all those leads coming in from a particular set of states, let's just say these 5, to go to a particular sales rep, then we can kind of set up this exception. Maybe there's other things that you want to set those exceptions to include, and based on how your data is coming in, some of these things will make sense, some of them won't. Let's just say these 5 states are what we're going to have the exceptions be. And so on our general tab, we have this breakdown of how leads get allocated. But in the case where there's these states associated with a lead record, we want all of those. In this case, we want all those to go to Sarah. So we're going to give Sarah 100% of those leads. Okay, so when you're done setting that up, and you can add more, have as many exceptions as you want, then you're going to click Save. And once that's saved, it's going to create your profile. Now that you have your profile, you can use that to associate it with the different ways that the data can come into your account. We mentioned 2 or 3 of them in the beginning, and let's just, for purposes of this demo, assume that the data is going to be coming into our account via an import. So what I'm going to do is now go into the Leads tab for data tasks. Customers also has the same option. They're very similar how they're set up. So we're going to add a new data task. We're going to come in here and we're going to give it a similar name, Campaign X task. And we're going to say that we want this to be this task to happen in real time. Okay. So down here, the trigger, which comes up next, asks us a couple questions. And we're going to have the trigger be set on, like I said, an import. When leads are imported into the system, they're automatically in real time going to have these tasks below performed to those records. Now we can filter the records as they come in. If there's different statuses or partners they're associated with or offers, you can filter the records that are affected by selections here. We're not going to do that. We're just going to say all records, regardless of those things, are going to have this task performed. What we're going to do is we're going to apply the data distribution profile for user management, which is what we set up. Here it is, Campaign X. So to review, this task will perform in real time anytime a new record is created via an import across all records, and it's going to assign those leads to the users based on percentages and those state exceptions we defined in that Campaign X distribution profile. So as soon as we click Save here, next time a record is imported through the lead import screen, it's going to automatically assign those records to those users. Now, if you have an offer running online or companies are API sending data to you via APIs, the same principles will apply. Just instead of selecting through an import, you would select through an offer or through data sharing, which would be the API, or in fact, you can select all 3. And so it's up to you how you do it. Of course, you'd select all 3 if you want them to all happen the same way. If you have data coming in different ways, you could set up more than one task. You could say, well, through lead import, do it this way, and let's create a new task for when records come in through an offer, for example. So it's up to you. You can add as many of these as you want. Same thing on the distribution profile page. You can add as many of these as you want. So hopefully that gives you a good idea how to get those records assigned out, whether they be leads or customers. Till next time, hope you have a good day.